Hello everybody, I'm TechnoVoid, your host and settings filter on your Snapchat feed, and with me is Hamsterwings, your Pokemon analyst, Fate analyst for today. What's up?
Your guy in the last recap of all time ever, never making another one ever. Also,
Me? Oh that's true. I am also the guy that's never ever making another recap until I gaslight myself in a year that it was actually fine and not, too much work that I didn't like doing. So for sure, this is definitely the last one. So this is the final week of Faedos Draft League. So we're going to talk about a couple of matches here, and then we're going to talk about awards, and then just generally how the season went overall. So probably a little bit longer than usual, but hopefully not too much. So let's just hop right into it with Meteor Barret versus Technovoid. This is game one. I'm here, so I will just go ahead and say what I'm fearing is Meteor Barret's team is definitely one of the ones that has the best, what's the word I'm looking for? Speed control out of any of the drafts, which is something that I really lose to very much. So both Lunatic and Ballerade to me are massive problems. So a lot of my prep is designed with Ballerade. It's specifically I'm thinking like, how do I break through Sash, because this thing has frequently run Sash. So I want to deal with that, and then with Lunatic, it's just how do I do enough damage to this thing to kill it before it can get Trick Room up. It's probably going to Chronokinese me. I find that very likely. Interestingly, this is sort of a little bit of a tangent, but I do find it funny that Soul Heart, despite being such a fucking good ability and where so much of Lunatic's like power comes from, can't really use it in this format that well.
yeah.
But those I would say are the two big things that I'm really looking at. I will say Debriston, and this more so shows up. This is game one, I think I said that. This more so shows up in games 2 and 3. But that's a mon that I just want to make sure I have an answer to. So it's something that I'm often preserving Snowbrawl for, which, as we'll see in this match, is not something I do well enough. So I would say Debriston's big. Honestly, I'm not as worried about Silhouette as maybe I should be. That's a mon that I feel like has been a real threat this season when it comes, but I feel like I have enough answers to it as is that I'm not too concerned. And then Demarter, I'm honestly not that concerned because I am kind of running all physical here with the exception of Bandert, and I mean, yeah, that's a Bandert's gonna be fine anyways. Which is weird, because you look at Puppist and you say physical, that doesn't make sense, but we'll see what that's all about. As a sort of a proxy for Meteor Bauer, what do you think he looks at on my side and says he has to deal with? Obviously the Bandert, right?
Well, there's Bandert. Yeah, it's just it does damage. That's the thing it does. It's real good at it. Puppest is good like type management into his team, but ultimately, largely because of its performance over the season, I wouldn't fear it that much.
Yeah. I mean, I think it has mainly been successful in a support role, but anytime I try and use it as a damage dealer, it's not fast enough and not strong enough to like reasonably get kills that I needed to get.
Yeah. Gelster, I feel like there's not a lot to fear there for this team.
Sure.
I mean, Vitriol will do a lot to Silhouette, but
yeah,
Silhouette also hits it hard first.
Yeah, it'll probably the thing. I think Gelster, the big thing it does here is it does win the 1v1 against Refruin.
Yeah. And then I think like Snowbrawl can be a problem because it can be fast before Mr. Jellyfish sets up Tailwind. I think that's pretty much it.
How do you... I mean, Ravers is something that I went into this matchup thinking this is going to be very useful for me. Obviously, I have the fake out, but then also I think it has a lot of... Ravers has a lot of really good coverage. It has like a deep coverage pool that I think is actually pretty strong when I have like Scope Lens Super Luck that allows me to crit. Sort of lets me overtake my somewhat mediocre attacking stat. So do you think he fears that at all?
I I don't think it was a priority coming into the match, if I had to guess.
That's fair. And then Calorps is obviously not a priority because Calorps is kind of ass, and it was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, he's not very good.
He's not very good, especially here. I mean, anytime the opponent has more than 2 mons that hit me super effectively, it's like, okay, this is a bad time. The one thing you do is tank, and if you can't even do that,
yeah.
All right, let's play this one out. So he leads what, in my opinion, is like the nightmare lead for me with a game 1. I'm thinking, like, I'm leading this really hoping it's either Ballerade or the other guy, because it's like either Trick Room's going up here or Tailwind's going up here. I send out my guy with Fake Out, and then I send out my guy who I've calced
Could
out.
also have Fake Out.
Well, yeah. They can, that's the thing, right? Is they can both have Fake Out. Notably, Snowball doesn't have Fake Out, but like I'm basically what I'm doing is like, okay, one of them fakes out, and then the other one, will get brought down to Sash, will unburden, and then I do have enough calcs on this thing that it can one-shot either of these Pokemon, but then he sends out both, and it's like, okay, well, I don't know which one's actually setting up here, so I'm
Plus,
fucked.
I see this lead, and I'm like, there's a chance there's a Covert Cloak on this lead.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even consider that, but yeah, you're completely right. So I really don't know what to do here. I decide the Trick Room is more dangerous for me. There's the Sash, that's unfortunate for me. And then I missed the Triple Axle, which is rough.
That is unfortunate.
But here, at this point, I think this is a smart thing, and this is something that comes in throughout the many games. Obviously, in 4v4, switching out a lot is not a good thing, but this thing has loved using E-Speed throughout the season. So, like, I see that having a Ghost type that can just switch in on those, especially when you're, like, at 1 HP, I think very nice. We're gonna switch out there. And so nothing goes up at all, which is weird to me. I'm thinking, like, okay, there's no speed control. This is very strange. I get some good damage on, and I die. And we also, at this point, we see the physical Puppist, which is crazy, and we get a kill there.
Yeah, that's nutty.
Yeah, the physical Pup is going kind of crazy. Okay, so the Bitter Blade, that'll kill. I just wanted to pause for a second after this.
Yeah.
I read the Protect correctly, so we're down to a good spot. I'm noticing in Showdown, Poltergeist doesn't show you what the enemy's item is. I didn't realize that.
I think I literally took that line out because it still works without an item now.
Oh, okay. So is that, like, I mean, do we want to put that back in? This is a conversation we could have later, but I'm just curious, because that's one of the benefits to the move, right? Is you can scout items.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something we could talk about. I just thought that was interesting, because I remember during the matches I was thinking after the fact, like, fuck, I should be keeping track of what items the Poltergeist is revealing, and I haven't been doing that. And then I'm now realizing that it didn't reveal the information to me. So now we're down to a 2v2.
Actually, it might have been that it crashed if I didn't remove it.
Oh, because if there's no item, it doesn't know what to say.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could just do like an else that's like if, no item.
Probably.
Yeah. But anyways, just something I was thinking about. So yeah, this is, I think, this turn kind of, despite the fact that Puppis does actually end up putting work into this set, kind of shows the problem with it, and it's that it doesn't survive hits, and it's not fast enough to kill things that need to be killed. So we do get the Hurricane, and we do die. I was thinking maybe you would Protect again, but at this point, in the 1v1, I lose this, despite the fact that I have Cosmicus Brand, and I am very strong. That is an Assault Vest. I think Assault Vest. It might be Assault Armor.
You could have flinched. 30%.
I guess so. I guess I could have. Is it 30 or 20? You might be right. It might be 30.
I don't remember, actually, for Dark Pulse.
I think Dark Pulse might be 20. But either way...
The only move I've had in my head for flinching is Rock Slide, because that's the only thing anybody has ever used in Champions, and the meta's so bad.
Hey, if you're a Pokemon Champions player and you're looking for a better meta, I don't know, go play like Pokemon Reborn or something. I don't know. I don't have any good metas. But
something I wanted to say about like Steven's team since the last fight of his.
Yeah.
I feel like in Faedos, for partly because of no tiers and partly because of like the limited selection we got going on.
Right.
I think balance is the worst it's ever been. And Steven's a balance player through and through.
Interesting. Balance. So, what do you mean? What do you mean by balance is the worst it's ever been? Like, I mean, I can totally see why hyper offense would be better than it is normally. But you think balance is worse than stall?
I mean, not stall, but like I think the meta is very heavily lopsided to offense right now.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I wonder if that will change as more Fades get released. Well, just out of curiosity, because this is a good point, and this is something we can maybe bring back up later, but why do you think that is? Why do you think a smaller selection leads to offense being stronger than balance? What do you think balance's pitfalls are?
I think balance largely just doesn't have the type diversity to work right now.
I see. Alright. Well, yeah, so that's game one. So in the future games, as I mentioned, I did a much better job of preserving the Snowbrawl for the Debriston, which was nice. But that's game one. Good season. Let's move on to Lynx versus Post. What are you seeing here on either side? You cover one side, and I guess I'll cover the other. Choose.
Well, I mean, we're seeing the same thing we've seen every week, but from each side. But yeah,
I guess so.
I guess for Lynx, I can talk about. I think the main thing he's done over the whole season is he's come to see the value of two Pokemon in particular, being Concerta and Gouget.
Yeah, that's big.
So I think going into this, he respects those two on his team the most now.
Mm-hmm. There's also, I feel like, though, worthwhile to say that Gouget just has a very strong matchup here. Outside of like Co-Crush with the fighting moves, we kill Silmarun, we kill Regelia, we kill Carteridge, and honestly, we do a chunky bit to Excelicuda as well. Honestly, you might... Excelicuda's not physically bulky, so honestly, you probably kill that thing with an E-Speed. So really, it just comes down to Schrodinger and Co-Crush sort of being able to live hits and potentially kill in response. So I think Gouget is just a really, really strong player here.
Yeah, I agree.
I will say, I think this is... I don't want to say this too much because of the Regelia, but I think... Or not the Regelia, sorry, the Reverie. But I do think Regelia is maybe in one of the strongest positions it's been all season here.
It definitely could be, but Reverie is always very scary.
Yeah, and Gouget, as we mentioned, having the electric is bad. But I think with both, with how important Concerta is to Vlynx's team, I think having a water poison type that is capable of being offensive enough to kill it is very, very scary. And then you have the added benefit of, you know, honestly kind of being able to fuck up a Voodred somewhat. I don't think Voodred can kill it in one. And I mean, I don't think Regelia does either, but Regelia certainly has some strong moves into it. I think, again, Carteridge suffers here. Unsurprisingly.
I think Carteridge is in a rough spot in general without some kind of support.
Yeah.
And, like, don't get me wrong, there's good support on this team in Schrodinger and in Silmarun, but it's not the kind that Carteridge wants.
Yeah. The big thing about playing into Lynx, I feel like always, is... especially as the season has gone on and the Concerta usage has gotten like more and more effective is maybe the word, but it's not the word I'm looking for. More and more like crystallized, like Lynx has really picked up on exactly how it is a win con every week. You like looking into this team, like Concerta is honestly probably one of the strongest things in the format. We don't really talk about it as much as something like Shuricorn, but I honestly do think it is one of the strongest things in the format. So I feel like it is somewhat centralizing, and whatever you're playing against it, you need a game plan for Concerta, and Carteridge just really struggles against Concerta. If Concerta is still alive, Carteridge can't do anything. And I think that's a
Yeah.
big problem for Cartridge.
And I think it's funny because Concerta is so strong in the meta right now because it's so lopsided to offense.
Yeah, I know. I think that's very true. No, I think that's very true.
And like Concerta is like the one true offense disruptor.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Maloth kind of does it, but I do think Concerta does it significantly better.
Yeah.
Just because of how bulky it is. Yeah, it's a fucking scary ass mon. I would say other than that, Schrodinger is fast enough that I feel like it does deal with a lot of this team very well. I'm kind of worried about the Mobscure, but honestly, like, I don't know that Mobscure ever comes here because I don't think it has a strong enough set of moves to ever be worthwhile here.
I think as long as you've got another way of dealing with Schrodinger, Mobscure is not really the pick here.
Yeah, because like it loses to Silmaron, it doesn't really beat Exilicuda, it definitely loses to Co-Crush, it doesn't beat Regalia, it doesn't. I mean, like, you're kind of relying to some degree on the fighting move pool, which is like Cross Chop, I think, right? I don't know what else.
His fighting moves are not great.
Yeah, it's like Superpower and Cross Chop, so I feel like it's like you can't. The dark stab is just not that useful, and especially when you have something like, well, I think Vudred probably loses to Schrodinger, but honestly, even if you
almost certainly,
yeah, I mean, as long as you, I don't think you need to kill Schrodinger in one. Post really likes using Schrodinger as a pseudo support, like he kind of does what I have done in the past with Jelster, with it being sort of a half and half. He'll often run it half support, half attacker.
Yeah.
And I think two-shotting it is fine in most cases, because it's usually not fully invested in being an attacker, which means that you generally tend to be fine.
Yeah.
Any other notes here before we go into it?
I don't think so.
Okay, alright, let's play it out. This is game one, so obviously nothing's been revealed. Yeah, we do lead with the Concerta, and this is the first time, so really bad situation for Schrodinger here, just off the bat. And here we see Fiery Wrath honestly not doing that much. I mean, it's not a stab move, and it's hitting two guys that it's not super effective on. And this is, I think, the big, just what's so strong about Regalia here. Good switch, kind of like with last game. Switch into the obvious thing. The thing is, this Regalia could have easily targeted the Concerta again. Like, I think it probably targeted, who was in that slot? Vudred. It probably targeted the Vudred and got redirected into Concerta there.
Yeah.
But in this case, like, after seeing that do 78%, like, it's a bit risky at that point to go for the switch into the immunity, because Post could absolutely see that and be like, you know what, I'm actually just gonna get rid of the redirector right now.
Yeah. But I mean, Lynx also could have swapped Gouget in for Concerta. I think that was a harder call to make.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, so he switches that in. I think it's unfortunate that the Exilicuda goes down here. I think it does a lot, but it does get a Tailwind up. And as we were saying, I mean, yeah, it goes down now, but like, that's rough, baby.
Yeah. It's the rough spot to be in there because Cartridge goes first.
Yeah, right. It's like, and the thing is, it's not killing. Like, it got so close to killing the Concerta, but as long as both of these things, not this thing, the Concerta, they both have kill potential on Cartridge, because it's not specially bulky. It's very specially frail. You can gouge it. They both have super effective moves, and they can both kill. So it's like, unless you can kill both things on this turn, you lose, and you can't kill both things on this turn.
Yeah, it's a hard position to be in.
Yeah, so I think Cartridge, if it had, and this is not me saying like, oh, it should not have come out there, I don't necessarily know, but like, if it had managed to come on the field after Concerta was down, and because like you're saying, it goes first, it's forced to be the first target into the follow me.
Yeah.
Whereas if it wasn't, like if this was the thing Cartridge was coming into instead of Schrodinger, it might have had more success.
Yeah,
maybe.
you could at least chunk or pick off one of them.
Yeah. Then
Speaking of being picked off, there
yeah,
goes that guy.
yeah, but also fucking insane damage on Regelia. Can I just say that's a base 80 move?
Yeah, I know, that's a lot of damage.
Like, Regelia is tanky. What the hell? You one-shot that thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's gouge it.
That is gouge it, I guess. So here we have the hyper voice. Here we see, so that is resist. We have the bonus.
Yeah, the throat spray.
Yeah. Now at this point, there was apparently in between the two players, there was some confusion about who would win. Like the point is, like I saw this game state and I thought, okay, the game is over. Apparently they didn't think that, and I want your take here. Even so, like, this is at +1, this is obviously the tailwind is down now. I don't think there's a world in which Gougeit doesn't outspeed and kill. And even if it doesn't, the fact that this did 28% before after a protect, I think after a +1 it still doesn't kill Gougeit, right? Is there something I'm missing where Schrodinger still does have a win con here?
I guess if it... I mean, I don't know how Gougeit's trained. If it has no speed, maybe Schrodinger's faster?
Maybe, because this is base 116, I think this is base 96.
Then probably not even.
Yeah, I think this pretty much always outspeeds.
Lowest speed is 177, which means no investment would be like over 200. Yeah, I don't think there's any way.
Yeah. So
no, it's possible actually. If it has like 0 speed, Schrodinger might be faster.
Well, notably, the Schrodinger doesn't have any speed investment either, but we didn't know that during the we didn't know that during the match. In fairness, yeah. So at this point, it's pretty much set. I think that if it wasn't, if you had like the turn of Tailwind or something, I think maybe the one thing that could potentially work here, if you were still faster, is if you. Although we don't know what Reverie has, so it's very likely that Reverie does just kill. But like, if you single target while the other guy protects, it might.
Yeah, if you Shadow Ball into Gougeit and Reverie for God knows why double protects, sure.
Yeah, but I think that's pretty much the only scenario. Alas, it is faster. So that is it. Any final notes on either of these two guys before we move on? Of course, we can always just save it for the overall talk.
Not really.
Okay. All right. Let's move into game 3. This is going to be Diggory versus Burnt. This is game 2. So in game 1, we revealed. So there's one thing in game 1 that I did really want to talk about, but I didn't put it in the setup because it largely came down to, oh, there was a misclick, and if the misclick didn't happen, the game would have gone differently, and I just don't feel like that's useful analysis. So what I will just say is I thought it was very cool on Burnt's part that he led with Sand Chip and a double protect to scout for Impester, and then I just thought it was really funny that the Impester did reveal itself with Umbral Thief, and then, you know, it hit a protect, and then it took damage from Sand and didn't get rid of the illusion because Sand doesn't get rid of illusion. But Burnt thought Sand did get rid of illusion, and so despite seeing it use the move that only Impester uses, the fact that it didn't break the illusion, Burnt was like, okay, it must not be somehow. Something else must actually get Umbral Thief, which I thought was a really funny set of events, because on the following turn he hits it with a grass type move instead, and it doesn't die. Which I just think it's really funny that he went from doing a really smart play to reveal the Impester to learning what the Impester was to undoing his correct information because of a misunderstanding. Which I think was really, really funny. But that's game 1. So at this point, we do know the Impester is illusion. It's not imposter here. We don't actually know. I think we've seen Chilling Water on Lumarina. We do know that Shuricorn is not Unseen Fist because it did hit into a protect. Don't know what it actually is. Burnt doesn't have a way of, because he doesn't have any fake outs or intimidates, so it's, I mean, does inner focus block chronokinesis? Do you remember off the top of your head? Because I should, but I don't.
No, I don't think it does.
It doesn't. Yeah, I think it's just like own tempo and quick feet, neither of which exist in 2.0. So there's probably no real reason to run inner focus here, which means it's probably technician at that point. Has Bonboros? Yeah, Bonboros has revealed itself. It's revealed that it's a Dragon Energy Cosmicus set. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure, but I'm not 100% sure. So I think that kind of is like the big threat here. Obviously, fire type or fairy type moves don't hit fires that well, but Dragon Energy is just really, really strong here, which I think to some degree makes Burnt be like, okay, Ignatius, I need you because you are immune to Dragon Energy.
You need to add more fire types. Are there any fire types in 3.0?
Certainly. Well, there's and I'm about to redact this.
Is that just going to be censored in the video?
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna cut it out. But there are those at the very least. You know what? Let me just check. This is audio poison because you guys have no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
I mean, who cares? Well, for anybody that watches the final replay when there's no more matches to prep for, you get some secret info.
Oh, true. Well, there is one more match, but actually, no. I see what you're saying. It's the last week. But while I'm looking this up, to your point, why do you think lack of fire types? What do you think more fire types does really?
I just thought it was really weird that fire types were off the table for basically everybody.
Sure, fair. There was one that went undrafted, but I do see your point. Let's see.
And I do think that one is actually pretty good. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's better.
It has various struggles.
Yeah, especially since, as we talked about, balance isn't as strong here and it's more offensive. It's not an offensive fire type.
No, it's not.
Which is a bit rough. So there's the two I mentioned. That might be it. Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's just those two.
So Burnt can have all six next time.
Yeah, Burnt can run 6 fairy types. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah.
And still dodge Wick Chick.
It's true, yeah. Because there's gonna be 7 total. Don't bother dodging one of the two that is like the opposite.
Identical to the other.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, take both of those and just dodge Witch Chick. So true. Okay, so the fucking bullshit 3.0 memes aside, is there anything else to look at here? I will say, I think Fungalvan is not as strong in this matchup as it wants to be. I think it has a real issue dealing both with Marachnid and also just the fact that, and like Lumarina can obviously use strong fire moves, and just the fact that one of the big things here is that Bombaros is using a spread move, and Fungalvan just can't deal with that. I feel like it is, and it's really the only thing it's really hitting here is Lumarina. Like it's a strong mon, and I think it is one of Burnt's best. Honestly, I think Fungalvan and Cronula are the fucking MVPs of this team. Like, by far.
I mean, yeah, because they're the only ones that aren't auto-prepped for.
Yeah, but they're just, I just think they're strong guys in general. They've even on this team, they have been impressing me in ways I did not expect them to impress me. So I could appreciate them for that. But I think this is just a bad time for them. Cronula has, I think, a decent matchup here. But I think Fungalvan...
I mean, I guess one thing that's nice that Fungalvan could do is like sleeping Bonboros so that it just starts taking Cosmicus damage.
Yes, it does do that at some point in this set, and I genuinely don't remember which game. So
yeah,
we'll find out. All right, let's get into it. So this time we are leading. I think it's another Diggory special of the same lead, but we can't say for sure. But we get the Sea of Fire.
That's awesome.
And a rain dance, which we didn't see last time. Also, is that... Am I stupid? Ooh, what? Oh, the Sea of Fire did damage to him. I was thinking, does he have the Cosmicus brand? But no, it's this guy. But yeah, the rain dance
Sea of Fire. He's not a fire type, you see.
Yeah. Does Sea of Fire not hit fire types?
It doesn't.
That's fun. Does it hit guys with flash fire?
I don't know.
Fun thing for people to look up for themselves. But yeah, we're seeing the rain dance here from Lumarina, and you know, it's always, especially in such a short format, trying to counter weather when you don't actually have your own setter is kind of dangerous, but I do think it does pan out here. Also, holy shit, Maracabre's got a sick ass shiny. I like that.
It's been shiny like every week.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to mention it. So this is kind of the struggle, right? It's like I don't know.
Yeah, that one hurts.
Yeah, it's like that's not gonna do much there. And yeah, at this point, you know, I was just fucking spoiling 3.0 shit, and then I forgot Burnt's entire nickname theme is spoiling 3.0 shit.
It is?
Yeah. Look at the nicknames. look at his nick. Look at Bariflun Galvin. Maracarbol. But yeah, I think here the protect, obviously you don't get any damage off. That's really dangerous. And then yeah, like we were saying, like the fucking rage powder is just not going to be helpful when you have a spread move out like that, because at this point, what the hell is Maracabre gonna do? Like, I mean, it's probably the fastest thing, but this thing probably has triage, draining kiss, so he's probably dead anyways.
Yeah, Bomboros is another mon that I was like, this is a high priority one if you can get it.
Yeah,
I think it is very good.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think this is another case of like it got stronger as the season got on, and Diggory like really picked up on what it does best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, you're just trying to outrun the rain, because otherwise you just die. The Bomboros is exactly where it wants to be. We love to see an Ignatius killed. That's my goat. It's actually Burnt's goat.
What is Ignilfer referring to?
Pilfer. Ignilfer.
Okay.
But this is...
You only give me like 3 letters. I don't really know who it's referring to.
I know. No, that wasn't me criticizing you. I was just me telling you. But it's the fucking meme. It's the fucking...
Like if it was like Kranyu Boza, I would have gotten that one.
Kranyu Boza. No, hold up. He's cooking. I know one of these guys is like Herless Burless or some shit. It's probably Cronula. But this is the fucking meme. We have get a load of this guy burning Bulwark, and Diggory has been prepped for it all fucking season. He says, "No, we are not getting burned. Fuck you, Hyperdrill." He's choice Hyperdrill, which
so funny.
Which does end the match, and I just think that's really funny that like this has been leading up literally all season. The whole reason Ignatius was a first pick was because Diggory kept posting the Burning Bulwark meme because he lost to Burning Bulwark several times during Ranbats. He was ready. He was prepped. He knew what to do. I was looking at that turn when he first came in, and I'm like, okay, this is the easiest Burning Bulwark of all time. He can't target anything else. He's absolutely gonna get burned. No. He's fine. Alright, any final thoughts here, or no?
I think that's about it. I think Bomboros is very strong.
Yeah, it's a strong guy, for sure. And then we've got our final matchup, so why don't you tell me what you see on Peanut's side, and then I guess I'll do Peanut for you.
Yeah, just look at the very first slot on his team, and just know that thing is a nightmare for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was at the start of my team building, I'm like, oh, 10 Mineral Dragon resists everything. And then it's like, no, my entire team loses to Angrief. I can't run 10 Mineral Dragon.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about that. So you say your entire team, Gridlug, I feel like has a good matchup into Angrief, no?
He's the only one.
Yeah, that is true.
Which sucks because that means Gridlug is required every game for me into a rain team.
Yeah, which is why you run that delicious Pasho Berry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I tried some weird sets this week. Teminral has Lumina Crash.
Uh-huh.
I never used it.
Yeah. So I guess tell me about the Teminal Grass. Why? So you mentioned the dragon thing and like how it's good, but then it wasn't good in the one thing that you needed to be good for. So why grass instead?
Grass instead because Jetsome can't touch it.
True. And Jetsome has consistently been a threat, so I can definitely see that.
The problem with grass is that Karaskai now touches it very hard.
Well, he shouldn't do that. With that big old grabby hand. Were you particularly afraid of, on the Angry, were you particularly afraid of Intimidate versus Dishearten? Did you have a thought going into the match on that front, or are they both equally kind of bad for you?
Not really. I was just like, I'll find out which one it is and I'll play around it.
I see. Okay. What about the rest of his team? Obviously the Angrief, the Jetsome. How do you feel about Efagrieve and like what's his face? Tropiclaw.
I mean, Efagrieve does damage, but I have answers to it.
Okay.
I was pretty sure it was going to be Scarfed, and it was.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it a lot easier to deal with for me.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess
Tropiclaw I wasn't that worried about because like I got another guy that just loses to Teminral.
Oh, true.
And then Boggle.
Boggle is there. But yeah, the Karaskai, as you mentioned. I guess
I guess one thing about Boggle is I was considering not running suppression on Teminral, but I'm like, no, I have to for Boggle.
That's fair. That's funny. Okay. I guess looking on the other side, I think Discrom, like you kind of, you don't want the water ability here on Jetsome. Like obviously you fear.
Yeah, I've got no water.
Yeah, the Discrom's ability to blast that off. So so at that point the question is, do you just predict that he's not running Power Ramp? I think that just makes the most sense. Yeah. But I do think Jetsome's very, very, very good here. I mean, even with its like water type moves, it hits like obviously Melominus does not have any physical bulk. Or Melominus doesn't have any bulk. Yeah. Honestly, neither like Melominus, the center of your team, Melominus through Discrom, none of them are bulky.
Yeah.
So like I feel like Jetsome kind of has a field day there. I do think with this team it is a little bit more dangerous than usual to do Electroshock spam, just because you have switch-ins to it.
Yeah.
So I feel like he goes for he goes for a mix set here, and I actually think it's not bad, just because, as we've talked about, like the water the water stab on this thing on the special side is somewhat unreliable if Rain's not up. So I think the flip turn is a really, really nice sort of call into that.
The flip turn's really big because my entire match is already a positional nightmare.
Yeah. A big thing with you is obviously, much like with Bauer, are you going Trick Room or Tailwind? I look at
I mean every single week I have both.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is like the thing is you need to prep for both. The thing is, it's like, I mean, we'll see with the Boggle that it is prepped to underspeed the Gridlug, but other than that, it's like
which requires Iron Ball.
Yeah, I think you prefer the not you. I think Peanut Scratch prefers the Tailwind here. He can set it up himself, and enough of the team is fast enough that it can deal with that. Whereas when it comes to Trick Room, like it is, I think it's largely it's largely suffering because you're kind of relying on Boggle and Tropiclaw, and to some, not even Angrief. Angrief's fast. So it's Boggle and Tropiclaw, both of which.
Well, Angrief we already know at this point is Scarfed.
Angrief? I thought Efagrieve was Scarfed.
Sorry, yeah, no. I get those two confused a lot. They have Grieve in their names.
That's fair. Oh yeah, Tropiclaw and Boggle are the slow guys, and Boggle hard loses, not Boggle, sorry, and Tropiclaw hard loses to Gridlug, and Boggle hard loses to Teminral. So
yeah, I don't know if it was in game 1 or it's gonna happen in this game, but Gridlug gives Tropiclaw the boost at some point, and then still just booms it with Poison Jab.
Yeah, I think that might be this game. So I think on Peanut's side, you're really not worried about that middle of the team as much, the fast ones, because you have better ways of dealing with them than the tanks. The tanks is really what it comes down to on dealing with, which I think is where Ethagrieve kind of needs to pull weight, because it is really good at one-shotting things that the rest of the team can't necessarily one-shot.
Yeah.
Like, I think it using a I don't know if its Sacred Sword is stronger than the Spirit Break from Angrief. I'm not sure.
It should be.
It should be. So, yeah. Alright, but let's play it out. This is game 2, so a few things have been revealed. You are leading Trick Room. I believe this is the first 10-mineral game. Got the Intim. So why this? So I guess why the switch out there?
Who was in before?
Angrief.
Oh, he's the one that switched.
Yeah. Is it just because the headlong rush into that slot?
I mean, I think it's just... I think that's just how the team is played. Like, if Gridlug is there, you switch Angrief out.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Bitterblade, really, really good coverage on the Bitterblade there to deal with the Teminal Grass, which otherwise does not really have an answer.
Not gonna lie, didn't see it coming, was like, he's probably not gonna run it on a rain team, but he did.
Next, Intimidate.
I bring Rigadil out because, I mean, it's a great turn for an Intimidate. Because that is a banded Tropiclaw, and that did not do that much.
Yeah. And yeah, even through the defense boost, we are getting a 2-shot. And yeah, and
Brigadier gets a nice little speed boost.
Delicious Pasha, which has been revealed already.
Delicious Pasha Berry.
I think it was Peanut that said it after the game, but he described Gridlug's Pasha Berry as a second health bar, which I think is very apt in this scenario.
Yeah, he adapted well at the end, just kind of making sure to break it with stuff like Flip Turn.
Yeah.
Like damage that doesn't really matter anyway.
Yeah. But this is the point where it's like, do you survive the Trick Room long enough, right? Because this is what you want ideally out. We see that, but it's just not enough. Your side, these tanks that we said you need to be worried about, they're here, and they're here for another 2 turns.
Yeah.
This is a real problem. We do get the Sucker Punch. Nice Sucker Punch there.
I get Intimidated here, which is, like, not ideal. Knocked off Cosmic's brand. I feel like that was positive. I'm not sure, though. Oh, that's a lot of boxes.
Yeah. I
think it's positive because he has access to recover.
True. That's a good point. I guess we can talk about this later, like when we get to all the teams. I constantly feel like Melamina should be doing more damage than it does. Do you feel that way?
I also feel that way.
Okay. Yeah, because it goes down, because it's not tanky, man, and the fact that it's not killing, it's like, this is like some Puppist level shit.
And then that's super funny. If he had recovered there, that would have been really bad.
Yeah. Because at the -1 attack, you don't have an answer to that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
overall, he did win this set. But,
yes.
That was game 2.
That was game 2. Alright, any final thoughts here, or should we head over to the awards?
We're doing that now?
Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll loop back to the teams, I think.
Oh, okay. Can we pause for a second?
Yeah. Okay, alright, it's time for, what do you call them, the awards of the season. So, starting off, we've got the carry. So the carry is, this the mon that, basically, it's, you know, it's coming all the time, and it's sort of what the glue that holds the team together, gets the wins. So we got nominations from Surecorn, Gridlug, Refruin, Bander, Jetsome, Pyrokai, Concerta, and Schrodinger. I think this sort of how people voted, kind of, I generally agree with it.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm honestly surprised to see Jetsome here over Karasky. I feel like Karasky was more of a carry than Jetsome personally. And also I would maybe say, like, Fun Galvin as well over Pyrokai. But that's just my take. I guess I have to break a vote here. I'm a vote Gridlug. I know Shurikorn did a ton, but honestly, like, I feel like on that team, there was enough work from, like, Boros and stuff like that, where it's like, Shurikorn didn't necessarily feel instrumental in the way that I think Gridlug did. Gridlug, I think it is your highest bring rate Mon, and I think it was just so important to the Trick Room mode of your team. Like, I feel like without it, you have Riggerdeal, who is honestly not even that slow, and, you know, obviously, what's the word? Mulligan has the lower priority anyways, so it's not even a Trick Room move. And then Temenrel, which is, I mean, it's good in Trick Room, but it's also, like, the support, right? So I personally feel like Gridlug, without Gridlug, that mode doesn't work nearly as well. So we are going to give it to Gridlug here. So Gridlug is going to win the carry. Next up, we got the Executioner. So just, you know, big kill guy who was very scary on the field. Shurikorn winning this by a landslide.
Not super surprising.
Not surprising. Shurikorn is a Mon that definitely has both very reliable stab and also a lot of coverage that is also reliable. If you run Technician, you just have really, really strong coverage on this Mon. That being said, the fact that Riggerdeal wasn't higher after all the bullshit I had to endure about Riggerdeal, come on. Come on, if you're gonna give me that much shit about Riggerdeal, you could have at least voted as the Executioner. But no, I think Shurikorn's a total pick here. Total makes sense. I also would have voted it for the Executioner. I mean, those 100 base power E-speeds are no joke. It's got a very good, outside of the very wide move pool, it's got a very good stat spread to take advantage of those moves. It's got high attack, it's got high speed, it doesn't care, it's very much a glass cannon, and I think generally it kind of just speaks to the power of normal types in the format, whereas in other formats normal types are a bit on the weaker side, because normal types generally they have a lot of coverage, but their own stab is not that useful, whereas in Faedos their stab is very useful and they also usually have a lot of coverage.
Yeah.
Combine that with the fighting subtype, which is really nice against those dark types, and yeah, it's no surprise to see Shurikorn do this well. Next up, we've got the Bastion. Guy who didn't die. Proud to see Jelster here at 3 votes. It didn't quite make it up to the tiebreaker. I'm gonna be completely honest, I would have voted Jelster. That's my goat. He's so fucking tanky. I love him for that. But it does come down to...
He is.
Yeah. It does come down to Boros versus Temenrel. I am going to give this to Boros. I think Temenrel was...
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think Temenrel is a huge defensive Mon, especially because it can basically always be the worst type defensively for the opponent. Where, like, they have the hardest time hitting it. I think that's a big thing. But I think one thing Temenrel does is Temenrel, I think, is just... It's better at levying its defenses offensively with those moves that it gets. And I think it's a good, I would say it's, honestly, they're both kind of bulky offense to that point, but I think Boros both with...
They're both unbreakable, but Boros heals.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right, and not only does it heal, it heals on priority. Like, Triage, like, it has a massive HP stat, and it can basically drain and kiss any damage it takes, and it can also roost. I mean, it's super dangerous, so this is going to Boros. Congratulations, Boros. Very strong one. Also, really good defensive typing. Like, Temenrel can be any type it wants, but Fairy Dragon is good. Yeah. Next up, we got the Comrade. Karaskai, I think, is not a surprise here. This is basically just sort of like, you know, working in all sorts of different comps. I feel like Karaskai does that. I feel like it is actually a better pick for the carry than the Comrade, just because, like, with Comrade, it's like it works in a wide variety of team comps, whereas I specifically feel like the rain mode of Karaskai works really well to benefit everybody, but the Magic Bounce one kind of didn't. Like, I can't really think of a successful Magic Bounce game off the top of my head. And there are Mons and there are Mons on Peanut's team that, like, I mean, I guess especially Boggle, don't even really want the rain to be up. So to that point, I would maybe give this to Ecubus personally. If it was a tie, I think Ecubus, between the fake outs and the tailwinds, did a lot, but I do understand why Karaskai got it. I think it definitely did a lot for this team, and obviously there's the question, what is the comrade versus what is the carry? But yeah, it makes sense. So congratulations, Karasky, on that one. Cleric, this is always the one with the fewest amount of nominees, and it's almost fucking always a fairy type that wins, and unsurprisingly, it's fucking Concerta. Who could have seen this coming? The strongest support in the format, bulky water fairy with Follow Me, winning the Cleric. What a fucking surprise.
No one could have seen this coming.
No one could have seen this coming. Not even fucking close. Jelster is only here because he ran Chili Reception a few times. That is the only reason I considered him a Cleric. Alright, next up we got the Disruptor. Okay, so here we have another one. So this is, spreading status effects, spreading down, basically just making the other guy's life harder. And I think redirection is a part of that. Redirection is one of those things that I feel like fits in both the Cleric and Disruptor categories. And I'm gonna be honest, I think Demarter started off the season really strong, and then I feel like it didn't do much in the second half. Do you agree with that? I think it had I think Demarter had a really strong showing in like the first couple of weeks, but I can't really think of anything notable it did after that, which is kind of surprising because I feel like in terms of Disruptor, this should be the winner. Like, I feel like it should be, but then when I actually think about games, I feel like Malothe was significantly more disruptive, personally. So I'm going to give this to Malothe. And part of that is
I honestly probably would have voted for Schrodinger if it was here.
Really?
I think so.
Just because, what do you think Schrodinger does?
It just had a lot of games where it's just like, I'm gonna prankster click the worst move for you.
That's fair. That's a good point. Actually, yeah, I didn't consider that. Post did not nominate a Disruptor, so I nominated Regelia for him because I thought stuff like the Rain Dance he did into Burnt was nice. There was a couple of Toxic Stall strats that he did, so that's why I put Regelia in. But I think you make a good point about Schrodinger. I didn't really consider that. Demarter, like, I don't know, it didn't meet my expectations. It's a mon that I feel like could have done better, and I don't think that's a problem with Steven's team, but I'm surprised. So I'm gonna give this to Malothe off of that. Next up we've got the wild card Impester winning this. I mean, I get it, but also I don't know if I agree personally. What are your thoughts on this one? Did you vote for Impester? Who did you vote for here out of curiosity? I didn't vote, so. Boggle?
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, Boggle did do a completely different thing every week. Impester, so I can basically, for Impester, I can think of three different things. I mean, it was very hard to tell if it was going to be Illusion or Imposter, so I'll give it that. And then it did have a couple of times where it illusioned the
I guess my thing with Impester is that, like, yeah, the wild card is its kit. That's how it's made.
Yeah, which is fine. I think that's a perfectly reasonable reason for it to win. I don't know. I think of, like, basically even within the illusion sets, I honestly only think of like two different sets. Like, I feel like with Impester, it is largely a coin flip on which ability you're getting, and then once you scout for it, and once you know what it's doing, for the most part. Yeah. So, like, I honestly, Impester, I did not personally find very threatening, and I did need to prep to figure out which ability it was, but beyond that, I honestly, I kind of like the Boggle pick here more.
Alright, well, I'm gonna reality check you for 1 second.
Okay.
You didn't find Impester threatening because you had the worst team.
You know what? I deserve that. I accept that. You're right. No, that's very fair. That's a very fair point. You know what, Impester? Congrats, bro. You're the wild card. Excellent work. Next up, we got Secret Weapon. So Mon that didn't come very often, but when it did, it came games. Look, Jelster, I love you. You're awesome. I think you did it so much more for me this season than I expected you would. I expected you to be a singles Mon, and you actually were useful on a doubles team, so I love you for that. Silhouette has to win this. I mean, Silhouette, like, it really, I mean, I think it fits this perfectly. It didn't come very frequently, but, like, it was taking over games. I mean, that special attack combined with, like, the Cosmicus brand bulk, just the really strong access to both stab and ghost type moves. I mean, it did a lot of damage.
Stab, man.
And strength stab, I mean, this thing is fucking scary. It is crazy to me that it lasted this long. There's a couple mods I'm crazy it lasted that long, but I'm sorry, Jelster. I think this is undoubtedly a Silhouette pick. So congratulations, Silhouette. And then finally, Showstopper. I'll be honest, I don't really know what Erlen Fryer showstopped. I mean, it had a couple matches where it shell smashed, and those were fun. And I know I'm going to be biased on Colorps here, but Colorps is, without a fucking doubt, the worst pick in this draft.
Yeah.
It is a mon.
And he took over one game.
Yeah, he should not have been picked at all. I was stupid to pick him, and on a team of Pokemon that nobody else wanted, he was a Pokemon that even I didn't want. So the fact that he managed to do something, and he got like 4 kills out of it, he's winning Showstopper, because no one expected anything from this mod, and it actually did something once. So congratulations to Calorps for Showstopper. Alright, now let's, so obviously, Diggory, congratulations on winning the season. Honestly,
I did also vote for, I voted for Calorps, but I also voted for Violent.
For Violent, I mean, that's the thing, is I think the Violent and the Erlen Fryer largely came down to the same game, for Showstopper, because they both did the same thing. But that being said, I think the Violence Showstopper was much fucking funnier, because it was like,
that's really it.
Yeah, it was like Anger Shell, Shell Smash, and Decorate, like all at the same time. Like this was just the fucking Cold War of men with one-shot potential when they both have focus sashes.
Yeah.
So it was really funny. Honestly, I mean, I think Violent didn't perform that great this season. That being said, I do think this season proved that Violent does have potential.
Weird that Violent didn't perform with like 18 shared weaknesses.
Yeah, right? No, but Violent's a mon that I look at and I'm like, despite the fact that your scores are not that good, I see what you've done, and it doesn't dissuade me from thinking that you are actually strong. I think
Violent is a guy that I would love to draft again.
Yeah.
Not again. I've never drafted him.
But you would love, yeah, I get what you're saying. He just looks like fun, man. He just looks like hella fun. So congratulations, Diggory. Really, I think kind of neck and neck season for the most part. I mean, the top, like, I mean, we have 3 people, or is that 4? No, 3. My eyes are bad. 3 people, 4 and 3. Nobody went lossless and nobody went winless, so like everybody got something. We had a lot of triangles of like X beats Y, Y beats Z, Z beats X. I liked it. I think this was a really balanced season, which is fucking surprising for a completely untested, untiered meta. I know I'm sucking my own dick here, but I thought this was great. I thought this was a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to doing it again. Congratulations, Diggory. Congratulations, Silver Place. Jesus Christ.
I find looking at the games played numbers very funny.
Oh, in the MVP chart?
Yeah.
Why is that? Just because of how much worse Shuricorn came than everybody else?
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, Shuricorn came to basically everything. Which I guess is a point for it in carry. But, the fuck? Oh, no, Bandit came to more. Sorry, I was looking at games 1. Yeah, I was looking, it's like 8? Really? Things only came to 8 games? 3 games? But no, 17 or 17 for Bandit was the most. I mean, there was exactly 1 game I didn't bring Bandit to, and it was the very last match of the season. I kind of needed it. But yeah, so that's the season. I guess just going through general thoughts. I mean, Diggory, like, clear winner of the season. Congratulations, you finally got one, Diggory. We all believed in you. I definitely thought Hamster was going to win this season, but we all believed in you the whole time. Shuricorn, we've talked to fucking death about. I mean, it's a strong mon. It has all the tools it needs for what it wants to do. Bombers we've talked about. How do you feel about these other 4? Are you Are you happier with Lumarina now, or do you still think Lumarina is kind of ass?
I still think it's not great.
Okay.
I also think Impester's really toxic, but that's kind of the point of him.
I guess, yeah. No, that is fair. I mean, you say, because my team was the worst, so I didn't have to deal with it as badly as everyone else. But at the very least, like, just not know, when illusion isn't your only ability, it's tough. Because you need to constantly act like anything could be Impester, and then just have the Impester come out and be a Ditto, which is already on its own strong.
Yeah.
So that is definitely, yeah. Despite the fact that Impester did not actually do that well this season, I think you make a great point there. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, while it got wildcard, I could see this as a good pocket pick. I know it won the fewest games out of anybody, but I feel like it was one of those months that didn't come much and did a lot. How do you feel about Moroccan and Maloth?
I mean, Moroccan is standard. We all knew he would be pretty good.
Yeah. Maloth. I was happy with Maloth's performance.
Yeah, I was too.
It was a last mon drafted. I really thought I was gonna get it, and I didn't get it. But he's like a weird jack of a couple of different trades, and he does at least one of them well. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not that tanky, but he does at least that. All right, and moving on to Ball. Are you gonna push back on me on the Demarter thing at all? Or do you think he had kind of a subpar season? I was expecting Demarter to be insane, and it kind of wasn't. It was kind of just fine.
I don't know. Demarter, I think, has it a little tough.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that, like, I guess Dark doesn't hit all that much super effective in this
format,
particular meta.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, like, saying he has Fire Stab is perhaps a stretch.
Right.
Because at the very least, he's never investing offensively.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like having such low defense is more of a problem than I gave it credit for.
Okay. Yeah, and it's just like
I think he's harder to use than he looks is the thing.
I think, yeah, probably. Yeah, most definitely. But like, I don't know, it's just consistently I felt like Lunatic was a better and more consistent support than Demarter, which I wasn't expecting at all. I was really expecting Demarter to kind of be the creme de la creme on that front. Overall, I think you already talked about Meteor Bauer. Really good player, but very much a balanced player, which I guess is just kind of not as strong as it usually is here.
That's my read on it, at least.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I'm curious.
Or for a balanced team to be good, you need either like Concerta or Bonboros or something.
I see. All right. Well, I'm curious to see what Meteor Bauer thinks in the comments. Next up, we've got BoggleMoggers. Ironically, Boggle being the mon that fits this team the least. Really strong showing from Peanut in general this season. This is something Peanut said in call at one point, which I thought was funny and
so true.
And very true. He suffers when he has too many tools. Whenever his team is too flexible and can do too many things, he gets down in the weeds and just kind of fucks it up. Sort of leaning into this comp that is a little flexible, but not too flexible, where it has like 2 or 3 modes, but like not a million, worked really, really well for him. I think he played really well into the rain matches just generally, and just really solid play overall. Significantly better than I was expecting. I really kind of just knocked it out of the park. Any thoughts on him or any of his mons specifically? Yes, Boggle's weak. Yes, Boggle's getting buffs. Will they be enough? I don't know. Shut the fuck up. Not you. Just the comments.
I was kind of interested by how underutilized Tropiclaw was as a mon that I was going to draft myself.
Yeah, do you think that's just because it didn't fit on the team, or do you think it was for some other reason? Because I was also thinking that Tropiclaw felt weaker than I thought it would be.
Um, I mean, I find this team has like 3 really core members in Karaskai, Jetsome, and Angrief.
Okay.
And then everyone else is there to kind of fill a niche.
Sure.
And Tropiclaw just ended up coming the least.
Mm-hmm.
And Tropiclaw's niche kind of just overlaps with what Karaskai and Jetsome can already do.
Hitting what?
Like, dealing rain-boosted water damage.
I see. Because when I was looking at the Tropiclaw, my big thought was that this is another defensive switch in. But I think Angrief just does that job significantly better because it doesn't share a type. And it has ability.
Tropiclaw has the most overlap with the 3 core members.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it fills a similar niche to both it fills a similar niche, but then it also shares a similar type to a lot of these guys. Yeah, I think that's fair. Karaskai, honestly, props to Karaskai. I expected Jetsome to be kind of crazy on the damage, and it was. I was expecting Karaskai to take more of a supportive role, and despite the fact that it did that, it had several games where it was really, really strong as well. I mean, it was until I think the last week the MVP for this team, in terms of kills. So it's fun to see.
Karskai's just solid.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite mons, and honestly, I was kind of worried that it was going to be underpowered overall because I put so much of its power, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, power balance? I don't know. But when I was looking at it, I was like, okay, I need to balance you around the fact that you have Drizzle, so I can't make you too good. And no, he's pretty good anyways. So that was nice to see.
Yeah, I think you need to drop that mentality.
What do you mean?
Weather setters need to be weak on their own.
All right. I mean, I think the weather setters are doing okay, all things considered.
I mean, I think Karaskai's fine. I feel like Pyrokai is a little underpowered.
Okay. Speaking of Pyrokai,
Cronula, I think, is in a good spot, though.
Yeah, Cronula I do like. Yeah, Pyrokai could maybe use some buffs. What do you... let's talk about Pyrokai. What do you think Pyrokai is not doing that it should be doing? What do you think it sort of miss? I mean, here it obviously has the big problem of being one of the 4 fire types on the team.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, Pyrokai would perform better if he didn't have 18 shared weaknesses.
Right. But...
I think he's the weakest of the setters right now.
Okay. And is that just a case of not fast enough, not hitting hard enough?
I think Karaskai and Cronula can both at least abuse their weather a little bit, and Pyrokai, like, kind of can't. Like, sure, he has boosted fire moves.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. Like, the other 2 at least get something out of it. Like, Cronula gets a incredibly rare base 100 rock move that can't miss.
Mm-hmm. And a special defense boost.
Yeah, and special defense. And Karaskai gets hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
And he still has Weather Ball, despite not being a water type. I think not being a water type is a very big boon for a rain setter.
Okay.
So I think of the 3, Pyrokai gets the least out of his weather.
I mean, not to derail this into a balanced conversation, but I don't really think, like, the solar moves make sense for it. So, like, what do you think it could benefit from Sun that it's not getting right now? Because what does Sun really do other than boost fire moves? Like, it's either ability or moves, right?
I don't know. Because... I guess another problem is Pyrokai is the only one that has, like, 1 ability.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Pyrokai's other abilities suck.
I think White Smoke's okay.
White Smoke's fine. I mean, especially with Special Intimidate being a thing in this meta.
Mm-hmm. I think White Smoke is better the more base stats you have, and he has low base stats.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's mostly his stats that I have an issue with.
I see. All right. Well, something to consider.
He's still fine.
Yeah.
I just think he's the weakest of the weather setters in the game right now.
That's a good point. Anything else on Burnt's team? Do you want to talk about Violent? We kind of already talked about. I think Fungalvin and Cronula we've covered Ignatius.
I haven't said anything about Macabre or Ignatius.
Macabre was a bit of a disappointment to me. I thought it would play better. Not. I don't think Burnt would play with it better. I thought it would be stronger than it was.
I'm kind of not surprised by its performance.
Okay, I mean it is a not super fast mixed attacker, so like yeah, I get it, but like it's got a cool type. I thought here's the thing. I think Macabre, like, it was designed very much to be not very good unless it's abusing weather. But I was surprised that even when it was abusing both of the weathers it wants to abuse, it still wasn't really doing that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kind of expected solar power special attacker and speedy sand rush to be more effective than they were, and I was kind of surprised by that.
Right.
And then Ignatius, kind of, I don't know, we didn't really get that much data on Ignatius, is the thing.
I mean, I feel like Burnt's team was the team that gathered the least data just because of the nature of it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's okay. I do think it's funny though that Ignatius was the first pick and we ended up not really getting that much data on it. It came a couple of times and it's like, honestly, when it did come, it was really funny. It was kind of like a violent thing to me where it's like, it was always a joy to see Ignatius pull some bullshit, but I kind of only saw it pull bullshit and not really what it does on a standard day. Unless its standard day is just bullshit. Who knows? All right.
Kind of seem it that way.
Yeah. All right. On to Wild Isles. What are your thoughts here? I think Gouget Concerta, we've been clear on our thoughts there.
Yeah. I mean, Lynx has had his grievances with the team. Like
Yeah.
a lack of speed control, mostly.
Yeah, I want to say, I think it is props. Like, this is Lynx's first draft showing since season 2 of TDD. So it has been a long time. Coming back and immediately, like, being unhappy with your team and still managing to pull off this many wins, and, like, the position between 3rd and 4th place, the bronze medal, that was a mad dash for bronze.
Yeah.
And Lynx almost got bronze despite the fact that he had not played competitive Pokemon in, like, 8 years and didn't even have a team he liked for a lot of the season.
Yeah, no, I think all things considered, this was a really great showing.
Yeah, it was very nice. I think Vudred, I think it was, we've talked kind of why it doesn't really fit on this team as much as it looks like it does. I think the big things I want to hear about are, how do you think Reverie performed, and what do you think Mobscure is weaker? Is there something it was not doing, basically?
Mobscure had a lot to carry on this team, I feel like.
Yeah. I'm curious because, like, Gouget seems like it came up to the challenge and it met the challenge, whereas Mobscure doesn't feel like it did.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but I think the games that Mobscure did well, it did well.
Okay.
Gouget just did well in, like, every game.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then what about Reverie? Because Reverie is kind of a mon that, like, it felt to me like it should be strong, and I think it was, but I think it largely was, Lynx was very dependent on it the first half of the season, and then stopped being dependent on it. Do you think it's strong? Where do you think it lands?
I think the big thing is that Lynx found out how, because he doesn't have speed control, how important setup is on his team, and Reverie just kind of doesn't lend itself well to that.
Okay. That's true. Yeah,
I think Reverie on like a Tailwind team where it can just show up, Psycho Boost, and leave. I think it's gonna go crazy.
I see. Okay, so maybe just not a great fit for this particular team. Cool. All right. Any other thoughts on Lynx?
Not really. Erlenfire's getting a little buff next patch.
Tiny buff. Nice. Yeah. Not even tiny. It's actually kind of substantial.
It's actually fairly sizable.
It's actually pretty big. But you'll have to learn about that in like 4 months or 6 months or 10 months. I don't know yet. We have specifically talked the whole season about how strong this comp is, and I think people have learned a lot about, in this format, the power of 2s. Unclear next season if we're gonna do 4s again or 6s. Haven't decided yet. Truly depends on several factors. But just from this,
I think if it was teams of 6, if it was 6v6, I don't think my team works like at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is definitely struggles a lot more. The dual modes is just, yeah, you're with only half the team benefiting at a time. It's rough, but otherwise it's like, okay, I only need one Mon to not benefit, and a lot of times that Mon can benefit anyways, because like Ekibus can still fake out, something like Gridlug is still tanky enough that it doesn't care if it's still moving last. So I think there was definitely a lot to learn about this format from your team. Any sort of things you were super happy with or not happy with?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
I had a couple of pain points.
Okay.
Not so much with like, oh, this is weak.
Yeah.
Like nothing like that. I think the team was very strong. Aside from Melaminus never doing as much damage as I felt like it should.
Yeah. No, I can see it. It is. I was also surprised by that.
Bro could not kill with a stab super effective Shadow Force. Like, what are we doing here?
And that was my bro Gelster. Like,
it's still a stab super effective Shadow Force.
Yeah, it's in a weird position where it's like, I mean, I will say one thing. I think both Lunatic and Melaminus are probably a lot stronger in formats that aren't 4v4.
Probably.
Because their third ability, which is where a lot of their power comes from, isn't as viable.
I think most people would even agree that anytime I led Melaminus, they were just like, oh, this fucking guy can't fucking switch at the beginning. It fucking sucks.
That's fair.
So, like, I don't think it, like, needs to be stronger or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's perfectly good.
I think the combination of Phantom Maw and Shadows tag is a really strong combo of abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So, to that point, I would worry about buffing it too much, but I also do see your point.
Yeah, I'm not asking for a buff or anything.
No, but I do understand what you're saying.
Teminor was probably the biggest pain point of the team.
Really?
Not because he wasn't good.
But because he was too one-note?
Because he felt like the entire Terra meta in one Pokemon.
In a bad... Like, what do you... Sorry,
like
you're gonna be more specific.
In the way that, like, I'm gonna run the same 4 moves. The only thing I need to determine is what type I am. Because Teminor has a lot of moves that are good on paper, but none of them are as good as just, I'm going to use my defense.
As my attack stat. Yeah. I can see it. Yeah. Teminor's problem is that he's simply too good. He simply has too many tools at his disposal, and he just doesn't use most of them.
Yeah, he has a lot of tools. It's just, there's a clear optimal one, and that was kind of frustrating.
I see. I mean, to some degree, I want to chalk that up to, it's like, oh, well, you have so many tools, it's like for a playthrough, right? Because you're not going to have the optimal thing. But like, I do see the frustration that once you do get into a competitive context, a lot of those tools that you would be using in a playthrough suddenly become not the best option.
Yeah.
So it's
like, I was like, oh, let me calculate like an offensive Teminor using Headlong Rush, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, back to body press.
Yeah. Maybe he shouldn't have got suppression. I don't know. I don't want to take a move away from any fade, but maybe he shouldn't have got suppression. Alright. Anything else, or should we move on to post?
I think Ekibus is incredible.
Yes. No, big points to Ekibus.
I think that
here.
Pokemon was on nobody's map.
No. Discrom too, I think there were some people that really feared the Discrom initially, but I think it was something that generally flew under people's radars. And I'm not sure that this season really disproved them, but I
don't think Discrom got put on the map like Ekibus did.
Yeah,
but
I do think it's still very strong.
But I think people see that it's like, oh, if you have a bad matchup into it, it's a 4 Pokemon delete button.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be a nightmare. It definitely has really high highs. I also think it's you know,
And then I guess just
You can
for the
recommend
last
it.
two, Gridlug, he did about as good as I thought he would.
Okay.
He's a good Mon. He has the most deaths on the team by far.
People
but
thought he was going to be one of the best.
I still think he is like up there.
Uh-huh.
But he has like clearly defined weaknesses and stuff. And then we've talked enough about Rigger Deal. I don't need to say anything about that guy.
Fair enough. Post's team. So this is one of the teams that felt from the get-go was not quite built to like it had some what's the word I'm looking for? Holes in it. I think one thing that Post really did lock in early was being very fast, both with Silmarun, Excellicuda, Tailwind. Like he did run that very well, but then we had a lot of other teams that found ways around that, both with Trick Room and like their own Tailwinds and stuff. So where do you think the biggest holes on this team were, and what do you think did work really well? I think we talked kind of about how Co-Crush and Cartridge are two mons that really, really want support and didn't quite have it here.
Yeah, I think this team has like some of the best supports ever, but they mismatch the carries.
So like Silmarun and Schrodinger, you're referring to, I assume?
Yeah, I think Silmarun and Schrodinger are kind of just incredible.
Uh-huh.
Silmarun, I could see falling a little flat.
Okay.
It's a very weird Pokemon.
Yes, for sure.
But Schrodinger is like, this guy's got support. This guy's got special attack. He's got a lot going for him. But depending on what he does, he needs a partner, and I don't feel like he had one.
I see. How do you feel about
like? I feel like the big carries of this team were Co-Crush and Carter Rage.
Yeah.
And they didn't have guys that enabled them.
Sure. How do you feel about Excellicuda? Excellicuda is a mon that did end up being, I would say, the main carry. I think the problem with Excellicuda on this team is it had to juggle too many balls. It both had to be the speed setter and have to be the damage dealer. And it did not survive long enough to do both of those things in a single game. It really had to choose one or the other.
Yeah, I think Excellicuda excels when it has to pick one of its niches to be the master of.
Yeah.
And it was not really able to do that.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem. I think Excellicuda is honestly like quite strong. I think
we never saw anything like a multi-scale Dragon Dance set or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think the mon. I don't want to say has potential because that's such a negative thing to say nowadays.
No, but I think it is a valid point. I think it's one of those situations where in another comp, I think it would have performed significantly better. And I think the issue here it has is sort of the same issue that Concerta has, but like Concerta obviously sort of was able to lean into that a lot better, where it is carrying a lot of different things that it has to do by itself. And unlike Concerta, which is very good at just like doing the one thing over and over, Excellicuda kind of can't do that, like, because it just doesn't have bulk.
Yeah.
So it's like it is getting 1 or 2 turns on the field, and that is just not enough when you need to set Tailwind and then use Dragon Ascent or use, Dragon Dance or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Or we haven't. Regelli is the one guy we haven't talked about. What did you think of him?
I think of the pseudo starters, he's probably the worst.
Okay. Like by a significant margin, you think?
Not by a ton, but I think a lot of his support tools would be a lot better if he was fast.
Yeah, I could see it. I think in Regelia's defense, one of its big things is Regenerator, which it wasn't really able to take advantage of in this format.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think when this thing is in a team of 6 and Regenerator comes online, I think the Pokemon is a lot better.
Okay. All right, and then I guess the final team. I have talked about how Puppist was kind of a disappointment. I kind of unlocked Puppist at the end, which was nice. It was not the way I expected to unlock Puppist. I really did not think this would be a physical attacker that uses Compound Eyes offensively. I really did not think that's what we were going to do with the spawn.
No, I mean, it can definitely do the, like, Champions Vivillon thing.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, it can. I'm going to say Colorps is kind of not really a mon that is worth talking about. I thought I could do something funny with it. This was not really the place for that. Did not really have a
Fraudial.
Really should have run Fraudial. Really a big mistake on that part. So I was disappointed by Colorps, and that is not Colorps' fault. That is my fault. I was thinking, ooh, it'll be nice to have a slow defensive pivot switch in, and then I chose one that is weak to all the same shit that the rest of my team is weak to. That was not smart of me. Other than that, other than those two, I was actually very impressed. Ravarus, I will say, from the Randbats we did with Ravarus, I started disrespecting the hell out of that thing. I was thinking, Ravarus, you do not do fuck all. I was very impressed with it in draft. I think the wealth of moves it has access to in a draft is actually really nice. Very, very fast fake out. One of the fastest fake outs in the format, and just a lot of really nice coverage that you can actually save the damage on if you're running, like, because either you're getting 125 BP moves out of Skill Link, or you're getting guaranteed crits. And I think between those two things, Moody was not as effective as I thought it was going to be. Maybe that's just a case of 4v4, but I actually think Moody is maybe its worst ability, because its other two abilities take its kind of mediocre attack and make it actually usable.
Yeah. I think I agree with that.
Gelster as yeah.
No, I'm good. I was gonna flame the Ranbat sets.
Oh yeah, no, that's completely valid.
I think that's a bad way to judge these guys.
Yeah, no, the Ranbat sets are me doing some fucking garbage. Yeah, no, that's absolutely on those. Gelster, really, as I mentioned a million times, really is a singles mon. Did not expect much from it in doubles. Truly chose it because it's my fucking guy. It's my profile picture. I was impressed. This thing is tankier than it lets on by quite a significant margin. And Vitriol is strong.
I mean, yeah, base 130 is very strong.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, I never felt comfortable enough to invest offensively on this guy.
But you don't have to.
But you don't have to. And that's really nice when you have a tank that is never getting a kill, but it's kind of like the Boggle thing, right? Where I think this is one thing that Boggle should do. Yeah, it's like,
I'm gonna sit there. You can't do anything about me sitting there, and I'm gonna chip you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna chip you, like, pretty significantly. So that was nice to see from him. Snowbrawl was a mon that it had high highs and high lows. I kind of feel like it the same way I felt about Discrom, where it's like, I think when it popped off, I was really happy with it, but unlike Discrom, I think it was a lot harder to make it pop off. This will hopefully change in 3.0, because it is getting some changes that should make it a little bit better in more scenarios. But really right now, the main thing I can do is Unburden. And it's like, either that's a sash or a normal gem, and outside of those two items, it's like, you're really not doing much. And that was rough for it. Physical ice type moves really have the same issue as rock type, where all of them miss, and it's very unfortunate. Ice Spinner is the most reliable option, and it doesn't kill fucking anything.
Yeah.
And for a mon like Snowbrawl, where killing something is important, it sucks. That is unfortunate. And then Bandert, honestly, like, yeah, it did exactly
as expected. No notes.
Yeah, no notes. Bandert, you're the guy. Unsurprised, not unimpressed, but you're good. Yeah. Okay, alright, so that is the season. Thank you everyone for joining. This was a ton of fun. I don't know
except for the replays.
The recaps, yeah.
Recaps,
yeah. We have to fix the fucking move that Silhouette gets. Sorry, Meteor Bauer, about that one. I don't know what to do for an off-season. I really want to do an off-season. I don't just want to run a Season 2 right now, because I would like the ability to have more people to be in this involved, but I don't know what to do. We're not doing the Hurless Burless. Do you have any ideas? Please leave them in the comments. I said that last time and no one did. Please give me ideas. I want to do something. Any final things to say about FDL Season 1? Big new thing.
It's fine. Now that we have these guys and we know their balance, let's just run metas that aren't real.
Like what?
Like Stabmons.
Stabmons, true.
Everyone would love that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think there were some minor pitfalls throughout the season, and honestly, I was kind of, like, hoping that we would get more buy-in outside of the people playing. I understand why there wasn't, but I think one of the things this season did really excel at is, like, it got data, and it gave useful and positive data. I think it was fun. I think most people had a good time, and it really did, I think, not necessarily stress test, but like put proof in the pudding, I guess, for lack of a better way of showing it. Like, we walked the walk. We have proven that we can walk the walk. And that was nice.
Except for that one move.
Yeah, well, yeah. We'll get there.
Which only works in single battles.
Yeah, that's the thing. Meteor Power, it works in singles. We tested it in singles, it works. The problem is doubles. Which, yeah, that's the main format, so sorry. Anywho, that's gonna be it from us. Thank you so much for playing. Please don't stop playing just because the season is over. But I know you will, because everybody's very busy, and that's understandable. But I promise there is more to come, and it's gonna be good. So we'll see you then. Bye.
Yeah. See ya.